We're going to be working on our shadow selves today. Heal with me, okay? We are constantly healing. The healing journey will never be over if you are trying to strive for a better you, a better version of yourself. What I would say, this is a great starting point. Shadow Work Journal, the Shadow Work Journal. Also, the Lucky Girl Journal. We are also utilizing some helpful tools in this journal today. Even though we don't want to relive some of those traumas and it's hard for us, we still have to acknowledge and give a shout out to the inner child, okay? Because that inner child made it this far. And now we're going to tell them, take a rest. We got it from here, okay? Take a rest, inner child. It's time for you to go on and go, okay? Because we're getting ready to do some healing. We don't need you and your shadow to be here with us anymore. We're ready to take on life and those old traumas and get rid of them, okay? Because a lot of the times when we are children, we take the blame for everything, okay? It was our fault that we were abandoned, even though we were children and somebody else was responsible for us that was an adult. We always think it's our fault. It's our fault that that happened. It was something about us that made our parents reject us, or it was something about us that made that person want to abuse us in whatever way they did. And those are all lies, okay? But when we are young, inexperienced, and immature, we we come up with like defense mechanisms and reasoning to make it make sense, okay? And then when we get older, we never think like, I was a little itty bitty kid that didn't know no better, didn't know nothing. So maybe the ideas that I had about the abusers or the idea that I had about that situation was coming from an immature standpoint, and I need to revisit it. Maybe my reasoning and the ideas that I had were incorrect about my parents. Maybe the whole situation went a different way, but I was this small looking up at life and didn't get a clear perspective. Okay, I didn't have a bird's eye view of the circumstances or meditation and visualization. Okay, those are forms of having faith. Okay, I am going to visualize what God has for me. I am going to see it. I'm going to imagine it, and it is going to come to life. It's going to come to fruition. It's going to come to pass. Okay, that is why that is important. Okay, we've talked about mind reframing, why the gratitude list is important. Okay, neuroscientist Dr. Rick Hanson suggests that the brain takes the shape of the state of mind that we rest upon. If we rest upon doubt, sadness, irritability, it may bring more anger, anxiety, and depression into our lives. If we rest upon joy, contentment, and love, we may bring more abundance, okay, and peace into our lives. Gratitude is a wonderful way of improving your life and creating more abundance by appreciating what you currently have, but also approaching positivity too. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. Okay, and that's it for Shadow Work Journal. And we're going to move on. Life be lifing, okay? And I'm not giving an excuse for any parents that would abandon or neglect their children, but I am saying that I don't believe that they're thinking, I'm just going to leave these kids and I'm going to allow them to be hurt and I'm going to cause a bunch of trauma and drama in their lives and they're confidence in bloom. Okay, you have to have confidence, because if you don't believe in yourself, how are you going to convince somebody else to believe in you if you don't even believe in yourself? It is very important to have confidence, but not only in yourself. Okay, but y'all know I incorporate God in everything that I do and say. So having confidence in God that it will be worked out. Okay, you can send up a prayer and a blessing will be poured down. Okay, believing that thing will be handled and be fixed, because you are a child of God. You are in the kingdom, and there are certain inheritances, there are certain blessings that are a part of your birthright as a child of God. Even though we don't want to relive some of those traumas and it's hard for us, we still have to acknowledge and give a shout out to the inner child, okay? Because that inner child made it this far. And now we're going to tell them, take a rest. We got it from here, okay? Take a rest, inner child. It's time for you to go on and go, okay? Because we're getting ready to do some healing. We don't need you and your shadow to be here with us anymore. We're ready to take on life and those old traumas and get rid of them. Even though we don't